Whether you want to admit it or not, we are live. How about you, everybody? Welcome into this week's edition of the Auburn Live call-in show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Live on 3. Today is Sunday, October the 1st, 2023. You are now allowed to put up Halloween decorations. If you have decorations put up before midnight of last night, you are what's wrong with this world.
I think that should be our question. Do you put up lights before or after October 1st? And I'm with you. I'm an October 1st guy. Like, you don't do Halloween until you get to the month of October.
Cannot stand it. Idiocy. But anyways, I am joined, as I always am, 75% of the time by Mr. Jhead and Mr. Cole Pinkston. How about you, fellas? All right.
Man, you let me hit 75.
All these hot board percentages are going up, baby.
I'm telling you, it was a good recruiting weekend, so Jeffrey's feeling generous today.
You might could throw 75 on a few of those guys that were there this week.
That was my favorite Edwin percentages coming out tomorrow. I will have him at 75%. I am feeling, and let me tell you something. Favorite Edwin, for all you non-recruiting junkies, he is a specimen of a human being. I mean, specimen. He is. He's a big offensive lineman from Eagles Landing in McDonough, Georgia. He was in Auburn for an official visit this weekend. Cole had a story up on him earlier today. Go to Auburn Live on 3 to check it out, and many others. We've had recruiting updates rolling since last night. All the quotes and comments from the recruits have been phenomenal, amazing. This staff, this team really put on a show for these guys yesterday and the fans, although some of these fans, I'd say about 20%, maybe 1 out of 5, maybe 1 out of 10, really. About 10% of the fans. Most everybody looked at that game as what it was. It was a fantastic played, fantastic called game by Auburn. Yes, there were mistakes. There were points left on the board. But other than that, this is as good of a loss as you could hope for in that game yesterday. But yes, there were things that could have went another way. We could have been talking about a big upset, a monumental upset, but we're not. We will get to it all shortly. We want to get to the phones ASAP, which means as soon as possible. 701-779-9585. Give us a call. Let me hear your thoughts on the recruiting weekend, the football game. Before we get to that, though, I've got 3 texts here saying, who can I call? I'm looking for a house in or around Auburn, Opelika, Lee County. I got you right here. Jessica Andrus with the Talents Group. Give her a call, folks, 334-704-4442. As Jhead always says, she's a 5-star realtor, folks. Consensus. She can buy you a house. She can find you a house to buy. She can certainly sell that house. She can do it all, folks. She really goes above and beyond what normal realtors will. And I guarantee you there are people out there listening to me right now that would attest to that. Give her a call. Auburn, Opelika, Lee County, looking to buy, looking to sell. Give her a call. Jessica Andrus with the Talents Group, 334-704-4442. All right, we're going to, before we get to the phone lines, let's all take about 60 seconds. Give us a quick rundown on your thoughts, Jhead. You're just itching.
Well, it's a rebuilding year. You take that for what it is. Fantastic game. Kids played. They laid their guts out, right? I mean, you couldn't ask for any more from an effort standpoint, and I think that's really what you need in year one. But let's take this a different way. I like to view it from the prism of talent acquisition, and underneath that umbrella of talent acquisition, you have scouting and evaluation, and you have recruiting. Let's talk about recruiting, because recruiting is presentation, hospitality, communication, and sales. And damn it, if that game wasn't all that wrapped into one, fellas. I'm going to end my minute and pass it to Cole now.
Good stuff, Jhead. So I had a sneaking suspicion that Peyton Thorne was not the problem, the only problem, the number one, public enemy number one to Auburn University and Auburn University's fans. And I think I was right. And how do I know I'm right? The game plan. Game plan took trust out of the receiver's hands. No trust. Trust is the word I'm using here. Trust. No trust. Okay? That was my biggest takeaway. My second biggest takeaway, Auburn can run the football. Auburn can stop the run. That means they're going to have a chance in every game this year. They're going to have a really good chance in every game. Not just a chance, a really good chance.
Good defense, run game, they'll keep you in some ball games. For me, I said last week, if you're going to lose, I want you to lose one way. I want you to lose because you're lesser talent. You're not the best team on the field. Auburn had one penalty for 5 yards. They had 0 turnovers until the very last drive when Peyton Thorne threw the interception. They lost to a better team. They could have beaten a better team, but they lost. They didn't give it away. Right. I thought if you're going to lose in front of that many recruits, that is the absolute best loss I can remember in doing this job. I mean, that recruiting section was loaded, son. You know most of the people that were there because we told you about it on Auburn Live on 3. But we didn't mention everybody that was there. We missed them. Wade and Charles was there. Kamari Williams was there. Some guys that we didn't realize at the time. But man, loaded recruiting list.
Antonio White came with Jalen Crawford. Totally missed that.
Missed it. Everybody, I mean, we did our best, but there were so many. I think Hugh Freeze says there were 70 guys there with Auburn offers, more than 200. I think he used the number 300 recruits overall. So it was a huge, huge recruiting day. And if you're going to lose in front of that many recruits, that's exactly how you lose.
And in a defensive game where we have yet, and I quote, allowed more than 27 points in a game by this defense. And every one of us thought the defense was going to be the issue coming into the year. Truly like what I saw from Ron Roberts. Maybe we can work on our social media presence, but beyond that, we're good to go. You know what I mean?
When I talk about losses, we talk about the receivers that were there, and all the receivers that were there. We're talking Perry Thompson, we're talking Nakar, we're talking Ryan Williams, and all of them are going, man. I mean, seriously, I'm not kidding here. I'm not exaggerating here. I'm going to paraphrase, but it was, man, if they had me, they beat the number 1 team in the country. Yeah. They had me. And I want y'all to go Auburn Live on 3. Read these recruits, what they're saying. Read what KJ Bolden said. Read what Joseph Phillips said. Read what Favor Edwin said. Read what Walker White said. Read what these guys said. It was very impressive to these recruits. Fantastic day all around, except for the outcome.
Jeffrey, I think there was one receiver that I talked to, and I'm going to have a story on this tomorrow, so I don't want to spoil too much, that didn't love the way the offense looked. Not a huge fan of that.
No kidding.
For him. Yeah, now that was one out of a ton of big-time receivers that were there. You know, Nakar, we didn't even talk too much about him. Boy, I could go on forever about him as I watched him Friday night, for anybody who wants to know that later in the show. But yeah, one guy, he's like, yeah, that's may not be for me, man. I don't know. You know? Okay.
Well, I hope this everybody understands this. That's not what Hugh Freeze wants to do. No, Hugh Freeze wants to throw the ball 35 to 40 times a freaking half.
And that's the pitch, right? Hey, we get you. That offense flips, son.
Yeah.
You're going to get the ball because right now you saw we took some shots on some guys after we didn't give them trust in the first half, and look what happened. Drops. We had some drops. Or, you know, I'm not trying to call somebody out, but I know that was a back shoulder throw to Nick Martiner. Yep. Never looked at it. It's stuff like that I was curious about the week before with A&M. Like, sometimes you can't see that stuff as the average fan watching the game. But that kind of stuff is happening. And sometimes, you know, that is the reason the play didn't work. But Peyton Thorne's going to get, or Robbie Ashford are going to get the criticism for it. You got to know who to blame, guys. That's one thing I want. It's my mission, you know, to get the Auburn fans to understand that. Leave the matrix of, hey, you know, this is what happened. You don't know, okay? You don't always know, and neither do I. I certainly don't always know. I give my best guess and analysis on it. But, man, that when you know who to blame, it's like you've been pulled out of the matrix. Like, wow, I'm seeing it clearly here. That's crazy, you know?
Taking those glasses off. All right, you've heard what we think about the game in a nutshell. Let's get to the phones and find out what some of these fans thought about the game or the weekend, whatever's on your mind, big dog.
5810 live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
I knew it was going to be a good call.
Boy, Anthony beat Edward to the punch today.
I like it.
Edward's next. Him and Edward were the first two callers. They've been on the line for like 15 minutes.
Edward's going to be saying, y'all let me on hold too long.
How y'all doing tonight?
Good, Anthony. How you doing, big dog? What'd you think about the game, big dog?
Man, I think it went about as good as it can be with an L.
Yep.
I mean, you can't beat it, man. Like y'all was saying, if I'm Hugh Freeze, I'm putting Ryan Williams, Nard Carr, Perry something, and Bryce, and telling them on this fourth down, I need a playmaker. That's what I need you here for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't have nobody that I can trust and go to in that moment. But man, what I talk about, it's time start talking about Marcus Harris. He might be the best player on this team.
Preach, brother.
I mean, you talking about consistency. I mean, he don't get the love that he deserves because he just do his job. Even if he just taking on the double team, whatever he's called to do, he doing what he's supposed to do, man. The guy played hard. He was unblockable yesterday. Like I'm talking about feasting.
Yeah, he was.
Pinkston too, man. Those guys playing their way off the draft board.
And
Who was the second one?
Simpson. And you
Oh
stole.
God, yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Tell me he's not a first round draft pick right now.
He's good.
Oh yeah. He Pinkston's been balling this shit. Now I gotta get on my boy DJ. Love DJ James. Love the way you cover, but bro, you gotta tackle somebody. When the NFL scouts turn on the film, we know you can cover, but man, you gotta act like you want to tackle. He slapped on that game winning touchdown. He slapped Bowers shoulder pass like it was 2-hand play.
Yeah, he's trying to pull the flag.
Yeah, he gonna have to tackle somebody this year. He did, when he do go in and tackle, he just throw his head out and just go flying in there. But man, also I know I see everybody. I didn't call in last week because I didn't want to do the whole paint throwing the Robbie thing. Like maybe I put too much energy than I should. It's Auburn, but that's just the fans in us. What I want to say about Payne Thorne is a solid quarterback. He's not Bryce Young. He can't overcome below average receiver play. They got to make those catches for the man. He's not good enough to win you a game. He's good enough to not lose you a game when he got good play around him. But we need some receivers, man. Like that fourth down. I didn't hate the route, but we can't add 5'9", 5'10" Jay Parrish to sit down on that. I mean, I would have rather them through it for Fairweather or Hook. I didn't mind the play, get to the sticks and try to get the first down, but that's a tough ask asking little Jay Parrish. If you was gonna box somebody out, we should have used a bigger body.
Agreed.
So, I mean, defense played out their mind. You got to get your hats off the Bowers. He's a first rounder. He probably a top 10 pick. I mean, the guy put George on his back. But outside of that, man, you can't ask for more. If you, like y'all said, if you want to recruit to watch a game, that should lead us into the future. I know we don't believe in more riches, but that give Freeze everything he needs to say to the recruits.
I thought a big deal with the defense was third downs, and it was the same way on offense. Third downs really cost Auburn that game. I think Auburn on offense was 2 for 12.
Yeah.
2 for 12, and then Georgia was like 8 of 13.
And Hugh Freeze said that.
One more thing I want to say, Billy. Hunter is not side-to-side runner. He only need to get the ball down here. They need to stop trying to run zone, get him to the outside. That's not his game.
I tell you what, man, Christian Clemente and I were watching the game together yesterday, and Jarquez looked slow.
I think he's got a sprained ankle. I mean, you can see him favoring it, and he does not have the burst or the pop that he had last year. He's not the same player.
Brian Battie. I thought he was fantastic. I wanted to see more Jeremiah Cobb.
I'll say this about Hunter. I've gone through 3 drives on pretty much the whole first quarter of offense for Auburn so far on the play script. Jarquez makes good decisions. That's why he's in the game. He does. He makes good decisions. I think he is hobbled a little bit right now. But as far as his decision making, he's doing fine. Can't pass protect, especially not hurt.
No. That's a recipe for disaster. If he truly does have a sprained ankle, which is what I believe, him trying to stand in there against, a free blitzer or a defensive end or a defensive tackle that comes free, you're just going to give too much ground, and that's a recipe for disaster, my man.
Yep.
I will say I do expect Damari Austin back for LSU. Not sure about Jalen Simpson.
Damari looked okay. I mean, he's not wearing a sling or anything, for his injury. I thought maybe he might have to do that, hold it in place, but he looks like he might be getting out there soon.
He was walking around fine. I saw him at the complex today. He was walking around fine. Helped out a lot with recruits and had a good weekend. I think he's ready to go. Jalen Simpson was what did he do? He hurt his ankle or something. He was hobbled a little bit.
Yeah, not sure.
He didn't finish the game, did he?
No,
he can't. Did he not come back in with a big wrap around his calf or ankle or something? Maybe I was seeing that.
Yeah, he wasn't 100% because they moved him off of Bowers and then put Kaufman on Bowers in the second half, and it didn't work very well.
Well, and in the end on that last drive, so on the 3rd and 13, that was bracket coverage with Kaufman to the inside shoulder. You had Caleb Wooden in the game on the outside, and he just got too wide and too deep and wasn't able to come up and play the levers the way he was supposed to. And then on the 3rd and 13, or excuse me, the touchdown, that was Puckett. They were playing match quarters, and Puckett should have been right there on the inside hit, man, and he bailed way too quick, and it just recipe for disaster, dude.
Auburn was missing Keontae Scott yesterday. I feel like in a major way.
Big hole.
I had a conversation with DeMarcus Riddick. I said, I think your skill set might be good for that. He goes, oh yeah, that's me. He was like, that's me. That's what I would do. Cover Brock Bowers. I said, here's what I think is really cool about the staff and the way they're recruiting right now. They seem to teach these recruits what they're going to be pretty well. That was my biggest question. Do you know what your role is for this offense? Because we're still learning what their style is on the offense, defense. What's your role? Because that'll teach me a little bit. And last year, I couldn't get them to answer that question, recruits. We'll figure it out when I get there. I got that a lot. Now I'm getting, Riddick. Oh, yeah, I would be covering Bowers. I'd be right there on the edge. He's giving me everything. They've talked to him about this. They've studied him on this. He's going to know what he is when he walks in.
They've learned him.
That's a big – that to some people that may not be a big thing, but to me that's telling. I think that's why they're having some success.
Do we still have Anthony?
No.
Yes.
We do.
Oh,
Here.
My bad, Anthony. We get to yapping over here now. You want to tell us to shut up.
Oh, you good, man. What's the POW?
Well, we started off. Anthony, are you a big decoration guy? Is your woman a big decoration guy?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I already tell me what we're going for Christmas today.
What's she? Oh, she started today.
put up her stuff today. Yeah.
Okay, I'll allow it.
She won't on the. How's she gonna decorate the house for Christmas?
For Christmas. Oh, she's already planning. Okay. Hey, not a day before Thanksgiving. This dude up the street had, I don't know if it's a dude or what, they got ghosts flying in the yard, and I thought, man, somebody, looks like somebody hung the laundry out, put the laundry out on the line.
Hey, J-Lee, let me say this before I go, and I'm gonna let Edward, because I know you're right behind me.
Oh yeah, he's getting pissed.
I read Ryan Williams' write up, and what he said, I feel like is exactly what Hugh Freeze told him. When he kept saying they need a playmaker this time, that's coach speak.
That's exactly.
You can tell by reading it that somebody has Hugh Freeze or Marcus Davis like, hey, we need a playmaker.
We need you. Just like Cole said, man, these coaches are telling these kids the perfect pitch.
Yep.
Y'all fellas have a good night. Talk to you next Sunday. I ain't gonna keep up too much time.
Appreciate you, big dog.
Yeah, good stuff there.
Always good stuff from Anthony there. Let 5960 in here before he gets mad and breaks up with us.
5960 is live.
Hey, fellas.
Hey,
Edward.
he sounds pretty jovial tonight.
He does, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, man. I think it was a misunderstanding, man. I wasn't saying y'all kept me on hold too long. I was saying that y'all made me hold it too long because I was looking forward to the Sunday night show, and it got postponed to Monday.
Oh, I got you.
You know, Edward, Jessica would say I don't listen very well. What's on your mind tonight, Big Dog? What'd you think about that game, Edward?
Man, I've been a lifelong Auburn fan, man. I remember being, about 11, 12 years old in 93, and I couldn't watch their game on TV.
Yeah.
I cried every week because I couldn't watch my Tigers. But I'm like this, man. Show up to Jordan House Field, give me 60 hard minutes, and let the damn chip fall where they lay at the end. You did that.
That's exactly
I
right.
can't accept a Penn State from last year.
I agree.
We went down. I didn't see that. You see I live with the way that we went down. Even in my heart, I know we should have. We let them off the hook because, make no mistake about it, this is not the same Jordan that we've been seeing the last 2 years.
Absolutely, Edward. That can't be. Yes. I can't believe they're still number one.
We're in the building stages, man.
I thought KJ Bolin said it best. If y'all didn't read his interview today after he left his official visit, he said, give Hugh Freeze. I mean, he's doing all this. He did all that Saturday with portal guys in the back half of a 2023 class. Give him a year, give him 2 to 3 years. This is going to get scary. And after the game, had a couple of assistant coaches use the Dion. The Dion line of, you better get us now.
Yeah,
you better get us now. You better enjoy it, Kirby.
You can see it, and the thing about it is, it's a thing you can go back and second guess, but I'm not going to even do that.
I hear you.
I love the game plan.
Yeah.
But what I will say about the game plan, if we're going to go forward with that game plan, then 9 give me a better chance to win with the game plan. Now, nothing negative against Thorne, but if I can't run the offense that I really bought Thorne in the run, I already got a ready-built man for this offense. And there's nothing against Thorne, but I want to take y'all to Bible study. I read my Bible last night, and I ran across something in it. And you want, man, what this got to do with Auburn football? But y'all just bear with me for a minute.
Preach to us, Brother Edward.
Paul said in the book of Galatians, the 4th chapter and the 16th verse, he said, have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Heather Bennett became a lot of people enemy back in March, April, whenever that was. He became a lot of people enemy. But Heather Bennett told us the truth. I looked at a lot of football yesterday. I looked at a lot of football last night. I don't see a receiver on Auburn wide receiver core. I hate to say this. I don't see one that would start on another SEC team in the SEC outside of Vanderbilt, maybe. It's not all on Payton Thorne. And I told you last week I ain't going to put it on Payton Thorne. Right now, the coach just told you there ain't no trust in the wide receivers. I don't know. We got a defense. We got a running game that can win some damn games. But we're going to have to pass the ball. We're going to have to pass the ball some kind of way. So, I mean, I have never seen nothing like this. Marner, it's pretty much his first game playing this year. Hooks, I haven't seen nothing out of him. Shorter, believe in this. None of the guys coming back. I hadn't, outside of Fab, Johnson been hurt. Michael Johnson, I know he poked the ball out, but you got to smash that one in, man. I mean, I don't see it. And unfortunately, we got a team that we could win games with this year. And you look at it, truth be told, this Auburn team could be 5-0. Sound crazy that sounds? We could be sitting 5-0 right now with any kind of passing game.
I agree.
120 yards in 2 weeks. We had thrown over 100 yards in 3 games or Power 5 plays. That's unacceptable, man. And the good thing, what you said, the recruiting, the Matt Carl, the Terry Thompson, Bryce Kane, Michael Simmons. Hey, after what I seen Thursday night, we need to head back up to Clay Chalkville. I need to get another look at Mario Craver because I need all of them that I can get. Give me 5 or 6 receivers in this class. So what you got, that ain't good enough, man.
I think the coaching staff.
Y'all a question I'm gonna get off. Going forward, seems like this might be the offense that we're gonna be relegated to because I just don't see the improvement. If the improvement ain't happening from March up until now, I don't see the improvement coming in 2 weeks. I'm just being honest. Going forward, if we relegated to the offense we played yesterday, who you think gives us the best chance to win in that offense? And I hear a lot of people say, Robert Ashford can't throw the ball. I remind you, Robert Ashford had LSU ass beat last year, throw the ball for 303 yards. One for Court Moe throwing the interception. And outright letting the ball somebody take the ball from him. We win that game last year. Now I want to hear y'all thoughts on that.
Okay. Edward, appreciate you, big dog. All right. Here's my thoughts on that. And I think somebody alluded to this on the corner today. If Robbie Ashford's in there, you look at Peyton Thorne's long run and you think, oh, well, Robbie Ashford would have scored. Is the defense lining up the same if you've got Robbie Ashford in the game? Is the defense giving you the same look? Is the defense dropping back into nickel?
No. I have a lot of thoughts on this. I'm going to make it very quick. Okay. Number one, I graded Robbie Ashford against LSU last year. Graded the whole game. And you may go, Cole, I don't care about your grade, dude. You don't know. And you're probably right. But he graded in the 40s for me in that game, even though he threw that many yards. All right. A lot of what he did was on the scramble drill. He found somebody on the scramble drill.
Yeah, broken yards.
Hit a couple slants, maybe a screen here or there. That's the easy stuff. My point is he's dangerous. Auburn didn't turn the ball over until the very last play yesterday. And that, in my opinion, is why they had a chance.
Absolutely.
Okay. And Edward, I'm with you. I mean, the package for Robbie Ashford yesterday was great.
Mm-hmm.
It worked. And the reason it worked is because they still did the same system with Peyton Thorne. Okay, 9's out of the game, we can back off a little bit. Nope, we're still going to do the zone read. And Peyton Thorne can hurt you that way too. It was a good game plan. Okay. The reason they're going with Peyton Thorne is because, he'll take a sack, but he's very worried about turning the ball over. And if you start turning the ball over, you can kiss those wins goodbye. It ain't happening.
Cole, you made a great point. Robbie Ashford is dangerous. He's dangerous to the defense, and he is the offense as well. That's my only problem with quarterbacks. I can't stand turnovers. I can't stand penalties. We've harped on those two before. I mean, it's not like I'm the only one who said this in the history of football. Any head football coach will tell you those two things will get you beat quicker than anything. All right, let's go. Zach, keep us going, big dog. I want to get to as many as we can.
1138. You're live. Who are you talking to? Where are you calling from?
As we can.
1138.
We're listening to ourselves right now.
Somebody's listening in on us, big brother.
1138. You're live. You can just talk directly into the phone and turn the stream off in the background.
Hello.
How are you now?
My name is Ricky.
Okay.
How about you, Ricky? Hey, Ricky, will you turn the sound down in your background? Will you turn the shows?
Listen to the phone, brother.
Yeah, just listen to us like you're talking to your girlfriend.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Ricky, what's up, big dog?
Yeah, I'm my name's Rick. I call from Birmingham.
All right. What's on your mind tonight, Ricky?
Yeah, yesterday, it was pretty good. I just, I was still kind of disappointed that we didn't finish like I thought we was gonna do, but we did better than I thought we did against Texas A&M.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know why our fans down this debate between Peyton Thorne and Robbie, and because Peyton Thorne got in, he just came in like in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
And he's still learning people still learning the system, and it's kind of like what Walker White said the last show.
Yeah.
It will take some time to just get used to the system, and so but my main thing is I just want the fans to give Pinkston another time to get used, get comfortable in this system, get comfortable with the coaching calling, get comfortable with everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a while, but it's not gonna hurt us overall if I'm trying to make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Have a little bit more patience.
But I am kind of worried with the recruits. I don't know if they see this loss as gonna hurt us in the recruiting.
Ricky, this loss, believe it or not, was absolutely positive.
Yeah.
I
it's
mean,
not hurting Auburn.
Very positive for Auburn recruiting. I mean, don't get me wrong, a win would have been even more.
Sure.
But like I said earlier, this was the best loss Auburn could have drew up.
Okay. And yesterday after the game, I did watch the LSU Ole Miss game. I'm kind of surprised about Ole Miss. I really believe we played them in like 3 weeks. We're really gonna have to score at least 50 points.
Both of them.
I think the game
Ole
for
Miss.
LSU in 2 weeks, Ole Miss in 3. I think that's right. October 21st is Ole Miss.
That's right. We got the bye week, so it's LSU and Baton Rouge, and then we get Ole Miss at home. And I would tell you this, Ricky. I think you saw 2 defenses that couldn't stop me and Cole in pass pattern last night when you watched the Ole Miss and LSU game. Their back ends are absolutely atrocious. Both of them have some competitors in the front 7, but I think Auburn's game plan will be to shorten the game and utilize the new clock rules to their advantage. You're going to have that in Jhead and Hare.
Yeah.
I think our defense is better than either of the 2 defenses that you watched last night. I honestly believe that. That's not me being a homer. That's what I've seen to this point of other SEC teams. I believe our defense is better. And I think in that crowd, in that environment, with the way that team will be focused, I don't think you're going to have to score 50. You're going to have to score. You're going to have to put up close to 30 points, but you're not going to have to put up 50. I promise you that. Not with the way we'll allow our run game to kind of dictate things.
Yeah. Also, Auburn can run the ball and sustain drives.
Yeah.
They may not be getting points out every drive, but they are using a lot of clock.
And that was my point, Cole, is the manipulation of the clock for this team is key. Because if you don't have an explosive option at wide receiver, well, the best thing you can do is keep their offense off the field. And let's be honest here, Lane Kiffin gets absolutely frustrated when they don't get multiple touches. I mean, he wants to score, get the ball back, score again, score. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And when they have another team that goes long, sustained drives, he's absolutely blowing his mind over there on the sideline because he just wants the ball back. I think the way you beat that team is to frustrate them offensively, play good defense, don't give up anything deep, and then run the ball and manipulate the clock. And I think that's what we're going to try to do in that game.
Right.
Hey, good stuff, Ricky. I'm sorry, go ahead.
From the community of Alabama, I really want y'all opinion on what are chances of flipping both on. The first one is Ryan Williams.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is the top
Beeman
prospect from Clay Chalk.
Oh, Jalen Mbakwe. Now, I will say this. Ricky, we're going to answer that. But, hey, we appreciate your call, big dog. Jalen Mbakwe. Did you go to his game?
No, I was watching it on TV. It was on ESPN, so I was.
I had messaged him about a week and a half ago, just checking in with him. Have you heard him from Auburn?
He will answer you, by the way.
And he did, and he said, "No, I'm not. I was like, okay. I mean, I had forgotten about him either way. I think there is a less than 5% chance. I don't even think there's a chance for Auburn to flip Jalen Mbakwe right now. I don't.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that one.
Ryan Williams, Jhead, you think so?
No,
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
Ryan Williams, let's see where we're at in a year with Coach Saban.
I will say this, Ricky. Man, I mean, this probably goes without being said, but there's some confidence at Auburn. I don't mean like confidence they're going to do it, but confidence they can.
Yeah.
And listen, he came in yesterday. He watched the game. He said all the right things after the game. By the way, he did correct himself on several occasions. I wouldn't say several, but at least 2 in his interview. Auburn. That's noteworthy is what I put on the message board. But then he spent the night, him and KJ Lacey. Auburn is not pushing real hard for KJ Lacey right now. He's the quarterback from Saraland, 2025. He's committed to Texas. Auburn's not pushing hard for him right now. That could change. I'm just saying right now. But both of those guys spent the night, spent all day today in Auburn, met with the coaches one-on-one this afternoon. So there is there's a good shot there with Ryan Williams. I'm going to say that there's a good shot with Ryan Williams.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Well, and now Alabama's a little bit like Auburn with Nick Marshall, right? They threw the ball a total of 12 times in the game yesterday. 12.
Dang.
I mean, hell, dude, I know we didn't complete them, but we threw more than 12 times. We tried.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there is that. I mean, you're talking about a completely different offense. I mean, they have sold out to the run completely. And if you're a wide receiver like Ryan Williams, you're probably wondering if this is our quarterback moving forward. How is that going to help me get touches?
Also, keep in mind the trajectory of both programs.
Yes.
How long can Alabama sustain where they are? They're at a peak. They have been for a while. How long can they sustain that? How long will Nick Saban be there? And I don't think anybody watching Auburn yesterday goes, I just don't think this is the right fit. Hugh Freeze, I just don't think this bullshit.
How about what Joe Phillips said about the Auburn-Alabama game?
Oh, yeah.
Later. That was look, Joe Phillips, man, every time you talk to him, he's going to have something quote-worthy every single time. I love it.
All right, good stuff, Ricky. We appreciate your call, big dogs. That keep us going.
8212. You're live. Who are we talking to? Where are you calling from?
You're talking to Paul, and I'm calling from Hartselle, Alabama.
Paul from Hartselle.
Caller just recently subscribed to your website, and if I can get over my cheapness, I might become a permanent subscriber.
Come on with it, Paul.
Bring it on.
How you liking it so far?
Well, I love it. In fact, I don't know how old Cole is. I don't know if he's married, but I've got a daughter that if he's as good a husband as he is, break down game film, then I'd have a fine son-in-law.
He is not.
I am happily married, sir. But I do appreciate it.
And he's not Mormon either. So
my man turned red on Love Connection.
He's red right now.
Miss Pink,
man.
Miss Pink, she's listening upstairs somewhere.
Well,
she is listening because I told her we were talking about the fall decorations and all that. So she's listening right now.
She's here in the background here in a second, just paying attention real quick.
That's why Cole's camera went off earlier.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, Paul. What's on your mind tonight, big dog?
Well, you had asked about what we thought about the game,
Sure.
and I thought it went about as well as it possibly could have. The only question that I had, and this comes from someone whose knowledge of football comes from PlayStation.
Yeah.
When it got to 31 and they had Robbie Ashford in the game and they took him out, and then they ran, I thought, okay, they're going to throw some kind of pass. And then they ran the play. I think it was to Hunter, and he didn't get anything. And then on fourth down, the snap went head high, and that was the end of it. What's the reason? I'm not questioning it to say it should have been done differently. I'm wanting understanding. What's the reasoning behind putting Thorne back in the game at that time?
That's a great question. Cole, Jhead, Zach, you look like you got something to say.
Well, me and Justin probably spent 20 minutes on the football show talking about that sequence, because if you remember, it was 3rd and short, and me and Justin were both talking about they should have went hurry up, kept Robbie in for the run threat, tried to pick up that 3rd and short. Then if you get stopped, then you could sub Thorne in to give you the option of pass/run on that 4th down attempt. But we felt like taking away that tempo allowed Georgia to set their defense in back-to-back plays, and then ultimately they made the big stop because that was a big swing. You could have got 3 points there. You get the first down. You're deep in the red zone with the chance to really extend the lead at that point. So it was a huge turning point in the game. And the play calls weren't bad. I didn't have a problem with the play calls. The bad snap really hurt them on fourth down, but it was the missed opportunity to catch Georgia off guard on that 3rd and short when you sub Thorne in for Robbie, when that was a situation where you typically would have Robbie in the game in that situation.
Sure.
So it really was almost counterintuitive to make that substitution.
Yeah. Backfired on multiple fronts. Cole, Jhead, can you help Paul understand why they would do that?
Decision making, in my honest opinion. And then
Yeah,
Cole, I'm going to turn it to you, but it looked like I think he wanted to make sure he had the quarterback he felt comfortable with to check protections to make sure that the play went exactly how he preferred it to go, and not a situation where somebody was going to ad lib and or not be as familiar with exactly what he wanted to have executed. That's my 2 cents. I don't know that to be a fact. I'd have to be in Hugh Freeze's head to know exactly why he made that substitution, but that's my best guess, Paul.
Okay.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Okay, well, I've got one more question, and then I'll hang up and listen to you because I know you got a lot of callers, and I love to hear y'all talk. The wide receivers, how many of those guys will be back next year if you had to guess, and that's about all you can do?
Wide receivers?
Yes.
Whether you're losing Mardner, Shorter, and Hooks, guaranteed. Those are all grad transfer seniors. They're gone. Malcolm Johnson Jr. and Javarius Johnson both have 1 extra year. I think they've got a COVID season that they can utilize. They could potentially return. They could also be gone. So you're looking at just from actual graduation, losing 5 guys in that room. There's more that could transfer out. Obviously, you've got some I think this staff, and I don't want to speak for anybody here, but I think they realize their limitations in the passing game right now, and that is unacceptable to them. And they're going to do everything within their power to make sure they have more playmakers on the exterior next year.
Paul, good stuff, big dog. Hey,
appreciate y'all.
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
Hey, does your significant other or yourself decorate for Halloween?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that.
Oh, thank you.
He was waiting for it.
I don't want to get into the whole reason why, but I'm very, despite being a kind of a borderline fat guy who loves candy, I don't like Halloween. And so we don't decorate for Halloween at all. Christmas, my wife has this like Christmas village, and she loves the Christmas village, but I guess you'd call me a stepfather to a couple of cats, and they absolutely wreak havoc on Christmas village, so we don't put that up as much anymore. But Halloween, definitely no, don't decorate at all.
Good job. I like it. Hey, appreciate your call, Paul. Don't be a stranger.
I'd be interested to know what everybody's favorite holiday is, because Halloween's my least favorite. Can't stand it. Love fall though, because it means football.
Let me see your wall. You probably got Happy Fall, y'all.
Happy fall, y'all. No, we got,
don't lie. You know it's on your front door.
We got, and I know Emily's listening right now. You got to live, laugh, love all over the house.
Family.
Welcome home. You got all that going on.
Home is where the heart is.
Oh,
gather here. You know what I mean?
Just wait till Coleman's able to start wearing costumes, brother. Just wait.
Oh, buddy.
You're going to be like me, dude. I'm already having to get dressed up like Optimus Prime and cruise around the neighborhood with him in his Bumblebee Transformer outfit, dude. Just, you think you don't like it now? Just wait. It gets better, dude. I promise.
I believe it.
Now, we'll say this, dude. In college, oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah. Now, that's a different kind of Halloween, bro.
I'm going trick-or-treating on campus, if you know what I mean.
Listen, trick-or-treating at the Sky Bar and walking around in neighborhoods at Auburn, a little bit different deal, buddy.
Jeez.
Hey,
to Paul's question, though, I actually believe there's going to be a Chinese fire drill going on in the wide receiver room in the offseason.
Yeah.
And to somebody else's question, maybe this was on the corner, but Jhead, I think you said the same. Auburn's going to take as many of these wide receivers in high school as they can get.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think if they don't get them from high school, they're going to look at junior college. If they don't get them in junior college, they're going to look to the portal. They are not content with where it is.
I did miss this, but on Friday, Auburn offered a junior college wide receiver. Did y'all miss that?
I didn't.
Yeah.
But,
You saw it?
Yeah.
Deion Smith.
Yeah.
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 He was one of those on my list. You knew it was coming.
So they're keeping an eye on him, not pushing really hard right now for him, but somebody to definitely track, and he'll be in a new edition tomorrow. But yeah, they'll take anybody as far as those, Nycar, Cam Coleman, all these guys.
Look,
Ryan Williams, if he reclassifies.
Okay, guys, you got something? Because we talked about this, I want to say, right before the season started, and everyone kind of agreed that it's really hard to start as a true freshman in the SEC.
Yep.
Looking at the state of the wide receiving room right now, how many of these freshman wide receivers that are coming in could possibly start for Auburn next year?
Multiple. To me, correct me if I'm wrong, you coach and Jhead, wide receiver to me is probably the easiest position to play as a true freshman.
I think running back is, but I'm with you.
Okay.
It's an easier position.
Running back and wide receiver. What else would there? I mean, defensive line, that'd be difficult. Yeah. Linebacker, difficult. Even the secondary, UK and Lee. I mean, his head's on.
Maybe safety could be. There's been a few like good starting true freshman safeties in the SEC, but it's still difficult.
Rule of thumb, and Cole can correct me here if I'm wrong, but the closer you are to the line of scrimmage, the more difficult it is to play earlier in your career. The further away you are from the line of scrimmage, the easier it is to play in your career. To me, running back is the easiest position to play as a freshman because it's more instinctual. I mean, obviously, there's some conceptual things that you got to be able to pick up, but it's a heavy instinct position. Wide receiver, because of some of the nuanced things they do in the offense, could be relatively difficult.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I think, look, Perry Thompson is a special talent. I think he starts day one.
Absolutely.
Potentially, you're a number one alpha outside wide receiver. Should we not add another player in this class? I mean, I honestly believe he's better than anybody we've got on the roster right now.
Cam Coleman would start. Perry Thompson would start. I'm not putting it past these other two, dude. I'm telling you, Auburn loves Bryce Kane, and Auburn loves Malcolm Simmons. I don't know if they would start, but I bet you they'd be in the two deep rotation.
Nycar would start.
Nycar, I keep forgetting about. Yes.
Oh yeah, Nycar would start.
The majority of them would start.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, real quick before we move on, Emily is listening.
Oh,
she wanted me to remind or tell y'all. She reminded me that for Halloween, I guess it was 2 years ago, we lived in the neighborhood. We don't anymore. But she put up this huge projector and had, I think it was LSU, Arkansas, or something going during Halloween while people were coming up and getting candy and all that. And that was for me. So that I need to point that out.
Well, as long as it was after October the 1st.
She's got to keep the projector. Maybe Halloween goes up your totem pole there if holidays cold.
Now that, I mean, look, you do get football on Halloween, so I like that. You know what I'm saying?
Who is it? Is that the because the Egg Bowl's on Thanksgiving? Who is there an annual
it's
Halloween game?
It's usually Auburn and Ole Miss usually play.
Yeah, like it's been consistent that's been like our biggest Halloween game.
Okay,
but not this year. I guess are we in Fayetteville for that?
Arkansas this year?
Yeah, I think so.
At Arky. All right, good stuff, Paul. Appreciate you calling in, big dog. Keep us going there, Zach.
4947. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
All right, good stuff, Paul. Appreciate you calling in, big dog.
Hey guys, hope y'all are doing well tonight. This is Wardank Eagle. How y'all doing?
Oh, hey
man.
Puff pass, big dog.
I'm a little. Oh, sorry. I'm a little under the weather, so I'm going to kind of keep it short tonight.
Under the weather.
I wanted to say that I really thought that Peyton Thorne kind of redeemed himself a bit yesterday. I was pretty hard on him last week. I kind of lost all hope in him after Texas A&M.
Fair.
But yeah, he did. He was quite serviceable. And Jeffrey, you had made a statement earlier this week that the next time they pull Thorne, it should be his last time, and I definitely agreed with you at the point in time. But he's done okay, and he's no longer a turd sandwich in my book, so that's good.
Now they haven't pulled him as far as I'm concerned.
Negative.
Right? Yeah, they've run other packages with Ashford. That's not pulling.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant next time they rotated quarterbacks.
No.
For it, so I misinterpreted.
I like utilizing Robbie's athletic ability on these situations. I really do. I think Robbie in a short yardage situation could be more effective than him. I like Zach and Justin if they were talking. I'm leaving Robbie in on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. I'm running him to one sideline and I'm running him back to the other sideline on the next play. If he can't get 1 yard, defense, come on out.
Okay,
that's good.
Cool. Well, I did have a question. Like I said, I'm gonna keep it short. So I just wanted to wonder, do you guys think that Hugh Freeze and Philip Montgomery have they settled on an offensive identity at this point? And perhaps more specifically, are we just going to be a 2-quarterback system going forward? And if so, how do the recruits feel about that? Is that good, bad, neither, neutral? I don't know. Okay. I'll hang up and let you guys answer. Thank you and love what you do, guys.
I've got 2 quick responses to this, and then I'll let y'all. I'm going to start from the back. The recruits have not mentioned anything about that.
The conference has been locked.
As far as I will say this, I got it from good authority last night after the game. That was a Hugh Freeze game plan. That was a Hugh Freeze offense. That was a lot of Hugh Freeze yesterday. That's what I was told. What was did that answer all the questions?
How the recruits feel about a 2-quarterback system?
None of them have even brought the idea up.
Well, I would give this advice to fans on recruits.
I'd call offensive identity.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that was it. Real quick, I'd give this advice to fans. Sometimes, not always, but a lot of times, whatever you're thinking as a fan is probably the exact opposite of what the recruit's thinking. They just don't think like fans do. They don't think like fans do. And they don't, okay? They look at that and go, oh, I could play.
Yeah.
I don't have to be the backup. I get to play.
You know man, that was awesome. They just took the number 1 team in the country to the wire and actually should have beat them. Man, what if they had me?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what they're being told too.
Yep.
But offensive identity, and Cole, I want to hear your thoughts on this. I mean, I think it's very clear the offensive identity is running the football, and they're going to do it in a variety of different ways. They're going to have a lot of different presentation, window dressing. They're going to probably have some subtle nuances in there where they're going to try to lull you into tendencies and the, you know what I mean, try to catch you in a different look. And then there's going to be a lot of play action shots off of that. I mean, I think that's where we are as an offense. What they mentioned on the live broadcast, and I don't know if you guys were able to notice it, they cut out a lot of the option routes to kind of create, I guess, more reliability or trust between Peyton Thorne and the receiver of knowing where exactly everybody's going to be. You're not anticipating what the guy's going to do because you're not necessarily all on the same page. I think that makes your route tree a little simple, but it also makes it more effective as well because, as I was once told, it doesn't matter how beautifully a play is drawn up or the complexity involved within it. If you can't execute it, it truly doesn't matter, right? And Cole, I want to hear your thoughts on what you think the offensive identity is. And I will say this on the 2-quarterback system. To me, it's not a real 2-quarterback system. It's a package, and then somebody else is getting 90% of the snaps.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, I just blanked, Jhead. What were you?
Offensive identity.
Cole been hanging out with Wardank.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, the offensive identity is to run the football. I was going to say, and I hate to say it this way, I don't want to put it this way. It's almost like you dumbed it down a little bit for the receivers.
Yeah.
That's a terrible way to put it, and I don't mean it as a shot at them or anything. But that's kind of what it is. You like you said, you took the option routes out of it. Hey, stop thinking too much. Let's run this route. Get open, Yep. Do it the right way. Help your quarterback out. Do it in time. That's the biggest thing to me because Peyton Thorne looks so late on his reads sometimes, and I'm thinking, he didn't do that at Michigan State. Why is he doing that here? Is it a him problem? Did it just become a problem when he transferred to Auburn? Or is it something going on here? And I come to the conclusion, I think it's a little bit of both, but mostly what's going on here.
Okay. All right, Wardank, appreciate your call, big dog. Keep us going there, Zach.
Last caller of the night, 4982. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from? 4982. You're live.
Is this me?
Yeah, you're live.
Yeah, it's you.
I've been waiting for like 45 minutes.
Oh God, Edward, sorry.
All right, I'm making sure I'm turning y'all down on the TV so I don't echo.
A+, big dog. Who we talking to?
This is hold on one second. This is Jason Curtis from Marietta, Georgia.
Jason Curtis from Marietta. My old lady's from
How
Marietta.
y'all doing tonight?
We fairly well, Jason. How about yourself, big dog?
Doing good, doing good. So I was with my family down in Auburn this weekend, and to be honest with you, I'm still hurting. I'm still hurting from the loss.
From the loss or from the liquor?
Most Auburn fans are. Yeah, I take it pretty personal, but
Well, you should.
Yeah, I was proud of the way the game plan turned out, but I had one specific question.
Okay.
About the wide receivers we've been talking about tonight. When y'all talk about the recruits, and I know we got a lot of great recruits, wide receivers coming in. I'm curious, how does this make the current wide receivers feel when they hear kind of the talk of we don't have a dude, we don't have the playmakers, things like that? That's kind of concern there where I think some of those wide receivers currently might go to the transfer portal. I mean, some of that's probably possible, but I want to get y'all's thoughts on that.
I think that's a fantastic question, Jason. Jason, you sound like you don't decorate for Halloween.
We don't decorate, but we participate.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Jason.
Well, the kids are older now, so we might go to a little Halloween party and dress up as adults. But
Right.
I don't decorate other than maybe carving a pumpkin or something. But yeah, I don't do all that. I was driving by in the neighborhood today of this about 20-foot tall skeleton. And there was these skeletons like all in a row in the front yard, like it was bowing to that one skeleton. No, I don't do that.
Now, when you go buy Halloween candy to give out, are you buying chocolate or are you buying like Skittles and the good shit? You got almond joys and butter. You got almond joys and butterscotch.
Because the thought behind it is, okay, whatever's not given out, I'm going to have.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
I'm a chocolate guy myself.
I hear you.
Of like, all right, candy corn is probably my favorite, and it's like the worst candy for you ever. But yeah, I'm gonna do chocolate. That way, it didn't go to waste.
Now listen, I joined in almond joy with butterscotch, but I love an almond joy.
See, I'm not a chocolate guy. I mean, it's sour.
That's not my vibe, though.
Is that coconut?
You know, I used to take the dad and mom tax.
Dad tax, yes.
You know. I'm sure Jhead and Cole, y'all.
Oh yeah, it's a big problem over here.
All right, bring in your candy, and all right, let's see what we can get first.
The dad told. Oh, the tax is what you said, right?
Yeah.
I thought he said tax.
Yeah.
What the hell am I missing here?
It's pay up. The
I got first dibs. What'd you bring me, peasant?
Let me pick out this Butterfinger Snickers. Yeah, I'll take that Reese's.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to hear y'all's thoughts on that perspective, because I'm worried about what the receivers currently, because we got some talented receivers, we do, and I was frustrated in the stadium because I had. All right, so the last time I was at 2013, me and my son was there, the iconic game, Prayer and Jordan Hare. And I was hoping some more magic was going to be sprinkled, and I was feeling it all the way to the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
I was like, man, we're about to pull this off. And yeah, of course we didn't, but I mean, there's a lot of positives obviously coming out of that. But I sit there and think, we got Fairweather, we got Jay Fair, Hooks, Johnson, and then some of those guys obviously made drops and things like that, but we got very talented receivers there. But like you say, and I've heard this across the board from I think the war report in different areas, like, you know, the coaches aren't trusting the passing game, which that's pretty obvious with game plan.
Mm-hmm.
But so my concern is, okay, what are those receivers feeling? And maybe they change the game plan when we get it in their hands more. But I want to get y'all's thoughts on that.
Fantastic stuff, Jason. This is a great question because I've actually inadvertently run into some intel on this. I mean, and if there are receivers on the team that were not recruited and signed by Hugh Freeze, they're looking. I would not be surprised to see some hit the transfer portal. Caleb Burton, whatever happened to him? We heard so much about him. Except for, I will say this, Camden Brown, we saw him a little bit more. I think he had his first catch against Georgia. I think we're going to start seeing a little bit more of him. I think we're going to start seeing Camden Brown a little bit more in the game. But Caleb Burton, he was a top high school recruit. We heard a lot about him over the summer. Sorry if I hit the mic. I have not seen him. I have no idea.
I think he's kind of pigeonholed to the slot, if I'm being
okay.
He has not been featured on the outside. Now, Cole, you may have seen it a little bit differently than I have, but it feels like he's kind of buried a little bit behind Javarius and behind Jay Fair.
Okay.
And so the touches just aren't there right now for him. But if he's one of your best playmakers, I think you got to start figuring out a way to get those guys on the field, right? Like we've hit the point, unless they just can't run block, because you are going to sell out into the run game. And I think you're going to feature wide receivers on the outside. They're going to give you the best opportunity. I think there's a reason Malcolm Johnson Jr. was playing yesterday. Listen, say what you want about him, and he absolutely should have plucked that back shoulder throw. But he blocks and he executes and he does all the things you're asking him to do. And that's why he's in the game, because they do try from that standpoint.
Speaking of run blocking from the outside, dude, I thought, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't watch the game like you guys do, but what little I caught on some of the tight ends were incredible. Luke Deal, Brandon. I thought they were blocking Finn.
And you know what? The tight ends had a rough day against A&M blocking.
Okay.
Boy, they turned it around. Brandon Frazier was much better. I mean, Rivaldo Fairweather, he's off and on. He had a couple of good blocks, and he had a couple where he missed, but definitely getting after it a little bit more. I think that was an emphasis this week.
I think specifically Brandon and Luke Deal. From what I gathered, it was just like showing replays, and I'm going, damn, well, there's 87 again. There, he's blocked. Damn, he sprung that one. Right. I thought, man, those guys were doing their parts.
It's at the point where I'm thinking you may want to give Brandon Frazier a little bit of extra NIL and send him to come back for his COVID year, buddy. Like, I mean, he has really come on this year.
Yep.
You're going to lose Luke Deal, and that's a big piece. And you're going to have.
Does he have another year?
I'm almost positive he does, because he registered his first year and he's got a COVID year, I believe.
I think right now, I'm going to touch on this a little bit more tomorrow, but Luke Deal and Brandon Frazier both have another year, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think Deal does. I think Deal and now you, Jay Lee, now you will know better than I will because you're talking to the right people, but I think this is Luke's COVID year. I think he tapped into it, and I also think his brother was a quarterback at UGA.
From.
Yeah, and Tyler Fromm. I think this is their COVID season. So I think they're done. I think Frazier's got.
They're both listed as seniors. Yeah. So is Brandon Frazier to be.
Luke Deal had a redshirt year his first year, then played 3 years, so he still has his COVID year, if I'm not mistaken.
Does he? When did Deal get here?
Auburn website.
Because I thought Deal and Bo Nix
2019? Was he 19?
Okay. Who am I looking at? Luke Deal redshirted in 2019.
Okay.
COVID didn't count. 21, 22, 23. He's got another season.
You're right, Jay Lee, because of the red shirt. I wasn't accounting for the red shirt year.
Tyler Fromm was 2019. Did not see action in any game. So no. 21, 22, 23. So he's got another year.
Yep.
And then who was the other one? Brendan Frazier. That same. Damn, they had some.
He's a year after him. So he's got
21, 22, 23. He's got another year too.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he played in 21, didn't he?
Let's see. Who Frazier?
Yeah. He did.
Yeah, he played in 11 games, so 21, 22, 23, and he's got another year.
So someone in the chat said that Deal in an interview said that he has an extra year, but he's probably not coming back.
I know it, but recent events.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anything could change with that. If he has a year, that's interesting.
I'm going to hit that tomorrow, and it's recruiting related.
Okay.
So,
I wanted to say to that question about the receivers, are they hearing all that noise, whatever, is it bothering them? I think the answer to are they hearing all that noise, whether you're talking about receivers or anybody, is yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is the
for sure.
I think it would scare a lot of people what these guys are reading and listening to. And as a head coach, it drives you crazy, but that's the world we live in now, and I just don't know how you stop it.
And another thing they're looking at, Cole, is these 5-star wide receivers coming in. They know they're not signing these kids to sit on the bench.
That's correct.
That's why I said if you're not signed by Hugh Freeze, you're probably looking.
Yeah.
I'm going to be interested to see. I think you've got 4 young guys, to me.
And not playing. I'm sorry, Jhead.
Yeah.
Keep that thought. Let me finish up. If you're not signed by Hugh, because Javarius wasn't signed by Hugh, and right, just to clear up that. Sorry, go ahead. You said 4 young guys.
You got 4 young guys in Caleb Burton, Amari Kelly, Jay Fair, and Camden Brown. I think those guys, to me, and maybe one of those guys does transfer out, but I think that's a good young nucleus to pair with what you're bringing in.
Yes.
To put upon.
Yes.
I think outside of that, and look, Javarius could decide not to come back. I don't know what he's going to do. If he wants to come back, absolutely. Kids, I mean, he's made plays here. He should be able to come back. But outside of those 5, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I'm with you. They're probably looking around and looking for a place I can play.
Weekly update on our season predictions. I think we all were kind of in agreement of 7-5. I think I fell back to 6-6 last week. But I'm telling you, man,
I held at 7-5.
I did.
This SEC, dude, you could win or lose just about it. And Auburn's played so just completely weird on the road than they have at home. They played freaking stellar at home.
Yeah.
They can beat anybody. If they can go toe-to-toe with Georgia, they can beat anybody at home.
I agree. And listen, I'm going to stay firm. I do not see 8-4. I just don't. To me, 7-5 has been the number. It has always been the number. I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to roll with 7-5. I think you're going to upset one of Ole Miss or Arkansas. I do not feel confident going into Baton Rouge and playing that game. I just don't.
That might get ugly.
But I
what about
do
Bama,
think, man.
1, 2, 3.
Now, it's interesting, Cole.
4.
And they are very one-dimensional, right?
Okay.
That said, their defense is better than anybody else we've got left on the schedule.
I agree with that. Their defense is very good, but it is in Jordan Hare.
1, 2.
It is in Jordan Hare.
3.
Guys, hey, for real, Justin and I was sitting up there. I mean, I thought the roof was about to blow off that place a few times yesterday. The loudest I've heard it since being in that booth, which is soundproof, and it drives. Justin likes it. Okay, I'm speaking for Hoke here. He likes it to be soundproof. He likes working in the quiet. I get it. I want to be in the action. Dang it. I can't stand being in that soundproof room up there. But it sounded like an explosion, even in that soundproof room. The second fumble in the second half that wasn't actually a fumble. The first one was loud. The second one, I thought they were about to blow the glass off that place. Like, good heavens. That was awesome. I mean, that was crazy. I can only imagine what the recruits were doing at that moment.
You have to probably like that stretch of Mississippi State, Vandy, Arkansas, and then of course New Mexico State. 4-0 is doable if you can get Arkansas. Arkansas is the one questionable. You got it. 3-1's the minimum in that 4-game stretch.
That's exactly what I'm looking at, Zach. I'm going, there's 6 games right there. Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, New Mexico State. That's 6 right there. All right, now give me one of Ole Miss, Arkansas, and Bama. I think one of those 3 is doable. put me back to 7-5.
I think 7-5 is the number. It's always been the number. I think that we should stick with that. 7-5, top 10 recruiting class. That's success for this season, fellas. Bowl eligibility in the top 10 recruiting class, talent acquisition at the forefront of everything.
And win a bowl game finally. 8-5 would be huge because Auburn has not had any positive momentum leaving a bowl game going to the all season, and feels like that Purdue game.
Yeah,
last one off the top of my head.
Yeah, when Gus just absolutely boat raced him.
Yeah. That's where we found out Darius Slayton was definitely an NFL guy.
Yes.
Oh, yes, you did. And that little slot receiver from Purdue ran his mouth that entire week leading into that game.
Oh, yeah, he sure did, didn't he?
He did.
Was that Rondell Moore? Was that who that was?
Yeah, sure was.
It was.
That guy's good, by the way. He's really
He
good.
is good. And in that game, Darius Slayton was the man. You know what I mean?
You're not lying.
Ooh, all right, 75. I like it. We got a few more minutes, man. You want to hit some questions from the chat?
Yeah.
You have any, Zach? You have any? Blackbird SR71 _ Blackbird. Who are some too early possible transfer quarterback targets?
I have not a clue.
Sorry, I don't know how to.
Yeah, I will.
Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, maybe. Peyton Thorne did better this week. I was very hard on him last week.
Did he improve?
He improved.
Okay.
Am I sold that he's the guy moving into next year? I'm not. I got to see more. I've got to see us continue to improve in that position.
Move over, big dog. I'm on that boat with you now.
Yeah, but
TBD,
man. But he played better. I want to give him credit where credit is due.
Sean Feely, this is a good question, man, because Oscar Chapman, dude, we're just going to forget that he kicked the ball 3/4 of the length of the field. He was missile.
Yeah.
Do we have a punter?
The battle of the punters. Georgia's was fantastic, too.
Yeah, he was.
Might be the two best punters in college football.
Sean wants to know, do we have a punter we are looking at with Oscar leaving after this year? Gosh, Oscar is already leaving?
Isn't Towns
he's probably going to go pro.
Jeffrey Lee?
Say what?
Isn't Towns a two-way?
Towns Magoo.
A punter and a kicker?
I'll
tell you what, I watched Alex McPherson booming them at the Under Armour All-American game when I went down to Orlando. He was punting.
What number's Chapman?
90.
90, yeah.
Oh, damn, I got to scroll all the way down there to that. Freaking kickers, man. 91.
Oh, he's 91.
So 21. No, he's got one more year. But he could turn pro.
He's a pro guy.
Yeah, he's like 36.
Yeah, I was going to say he's one of those Australian kids. He's got a full family.
I tell you what, Feely, I am going to do some digging on that, and I'll have if you'll remind me next week, I'll have an answer for you. Cousin Fred, nice buck there, big dog. If Thorne decides to return and Holden decides to leave, and Ash returns, and we go and grab a portal quarterback. Lord have mercy. I'm surprised. Would y'all be if Walker White is quarterback too? All right, if Thorne's back and Ash is back, so 1 and 2 are back, and a portal quarterback,
and you still got Hank Brown too.
Yeah, I would be surprised. I don't think he's QB2 if you still have Thorne and Ashford. If anything, Thorne would be QB2 if you went and got a portal quarterback.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm with you on that. And that's if Thorne decides to return. If you go shopping for a portal quarterback,
yeah.
And
but where's he going to go?
He would have the grad transfer option, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
you're right.
He would have the grad transfer option as a graduate transfer to go elsewhere, or just decide to stop playing football. That would be, start his coaching career, whatever he's going to do.
This is a good question from Cade, man, because DeAndre Carter, we talk about the big weekend Auburn had, but, there was a big-time commitment of Auburn's visiting Texas. Texas went on to beat the number 2 out of Kansas. And DeAndre Carter, Auburn's big-time offensive lineman, the lone offensive line commitment in the class, was there on an official visit. But Cade says, can't call in, but unfiltered thoughts were me, because Cole had unfiltered thoughts, and I echo what Cole's concerns were there, in that there is a concern about this kid visiting Texas this weekend. We set our worry levels at 4. Has that changed? I would say yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I'm probably at a 6.
7. I'll go 7. Yep, that's a tough one there. I wanted to put it in there though because it ain't over yet by any means. Don't get me wrong, but the timing is telling, and everybody read the room on that. I mean, everybody's been asking about it, and I think you have a right to be concerned and look at that and go, yeah, that's not cool. As far as timing goes, and as far as Auburn's chances, so I think you're right in that concern.
Yep.
Cole, Josh Corbett's got a question for you about wide receivers. Why are they not on the same page with Thorne? I know they are supposed to read coverage on some of these calls, and it's like wide receivers see something and Thorne sees something else.
I wish I knew the answer, Josh.
But he's damn right, isn't he?
Time and cohesion.
Yeah, no, he's not wrong. He's not, and that's what I've been saying. I know. We have a joke: 6,000 yards.
6,000. 6,000. Did y'all hear me? I said 6,000.
Even without the stats, and like I put on the board the other day, I graded 3 games of Peyton Thorne last year, and they were he graded right around the 70s. He's not grading in the 70s for Auburn right now. Okay, and for a quarterback, it's really tough when you get graded because sometimes it's not on you, but you have to grade the play.
Yes.
Did you make a play? Sometimes it comes down to that. Did you make something happen? Did you get the ball out of your hands? And he's not doing that stuff right now. Not too well. He's definitely not getting the ball out of his hands enough.
Jhead, you want to add on there?
To me, look, and I'm not trying to make an excuse here, but we are talking about a guy that just got here in the summer, right?
So easily to forget.
We are talking about a brand new system. We are talking about wide receivers that are adjusting to their third system in 4 years, because you're going from Gus to Harsin to now Hugh Freeze's system. It's a lot of transition, guys. To me, the passing game is always best when you've had time and cohesion together. And if Peyton Thorne had been there in the spring, I think you would see a much more developed passing game at this point, but you don't. And so you're going to have to, at this point, you got to lean into what you got and where guys are, because you don't have time to develop people right now. You just got to make plays, and you got to do exactly what you got to lean into what it is that you do well. And right now, that's running the football, and that's going to be play action shots and the RPO game. What little bit you can get out of it.
I got to say this real quick. In the comments, I keep seeing this, and it's not this particular guy, but he just said it again. Thomas Dickey in the comments saying he's seeing ghosts. Guys, he's not seeing ghosts. He's not seeing his receiver where they're supposed to be. Okay? A lot of times, that's the problem. Not the problem every time. Sometimes it's on Thorne, like I just said. You got to know who to blame, okay? Or you're going to be wrong, and you're going to look silly. He's not seeing ghosts. He's holding on to the ball too long when his receiver may not be in the right place. And that's why, as Jhead, you and I talked earlier in the show, they had to bring it down on the passing game a lot. Accuracy is not an issue for Peyton Thorne. He had a couple of bad throws against A&M, but I really think he was expecting the receiver to be somewhere else. A couple of them are inexcusable, but you get what I'm saying.
It was almost like A&M, it was on Thorne, and Georgia, it was on the receivers. Like, if they can ever get on the same page, it's probably what Hugh Freeze would like to do with this offense.
Hey, wouldn't it? Man, and it could not come at a better time if you're going to get laying Jordan Hare. That's just, I would love to see that one go down. That's just me.
Oh, Emos, most impressed with Cam Stutz, or Asante, Eugene Asante?
Cam Stutz has had a hell of a year, guys. I mean, he has really played well. I mean, I think you got to give it to Eugene Asante because he's just been transcendent this past year, given that he didn't even play a snap last year. Didn't play a snap, and now he's a mainline guy and your leading tackler on the team. So I think you got to tip your hat to him. But Cam Stutz has played well, man. He's mauled some people. He's knocked some people over. He's if anybody, I mean, and we said it before the year, and we got all can't start. There's no way he can start. I'm doing my best Jeffrey Lee impersonation here.
That's pretty good.
Did I say that?
Yes. No, that wasn't you. That was that was our listeners and our callers.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Let's get started. Our offensive line was crap last year. And Stud has played very well as the returning starter this year. He has played extremely well.
Danny Scarborough wants to know Jaquan McCroy from Clay Chalkville. He is committed to Oregon. He was at the game Saturday. Any chance Auburn flips him? I don't think they want to. But if they wanted him, they would have got him.
I agree.
Long time ago.
Let's go ahead and end that here.
Matter of fact, we saw him after the game, and he walked straight out, and not one coach said one word to him. Anthony Smith Jr. wants to know, do y'all think Freeze roll with Thorne because he's the future, and once we get wide receivers next year, he can operate the offense? I absolutely do. Now, Jhead's still TBD, but I'm saying that's why I think Freeze is rolling with Thorne.
I think Thorne's the best decision maker, and that's why he's rolling with Thorne.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He gives Auburn the best chance to win.
Yes. I don't know that he's the future. I do know that he makes the best decisions in that quarterback room right now.
I think he has to roll with him until he's able to make another choice with the portal.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can only go with what you've got.
Yeah.
And right now, he is the best in that group, according to Hugh Freeze, and he knows a lot more about it than we ever will. David Wunderlich wants to know, hey, so you can talk recruits. What's the confidence? Okay, this is a good one. Confidence on Nye Carr, L.J. McCray, K.J. Bolden, Khalil House, and Saquon Patterson. 5 top targets for Auburn. Nye Carr is now open.
Yes.
Confidence. Somebody's got some?
Carr, let's go. I'm going to temper expectation and give it a 5. I think that's where I'm at with that one. McCray, let's give it a 3.
Okay.
Because I just think that one's going to be
with you.
tough.
I'm loaded.
Bolden, I'm going to give it a 2.
Even
with the stellar comments. House, I'm going to give it a 7. I think he ends up at Auburn. Patterson, I'm back to a 5 there. I think there's meat on that bone.
I think I would go. I'll agree with everything you said, Jhead. If anything, just to be a devil's advocate here, I might have Patterson one notch above Carr. I might have him at a 6 and Carr at a 5, or maybe both at a 6. But I hear you.
Yeah, I'm with you on those.
I'm not sure if I can put a number on the guys, but House is at the top for me.
Okay. Yep.
As far as confidence goes.
Okay.
Next one's KJ Bolden for me.
Okay. Hey, now listen, I'll stop right there because this is a good talking point, Cole.
I can't say much else.
I know that again, there's confidence at Auburn.
Yes.
They're again not confident they're going to flip him, but confident, very confident that they can.
Yeah.
I'm just not there yet.
Look, I know what I heard, and I can't, man. I just can't.
Let me rewind back to, all right, we did a show. I was sitting on a balcony. I for some reason, I just remember this. I think I was on vacation. We did a show, and this was right before Big Cat weekend, I believe, a live show. And I said, the things I'm hearing about KJ Bolden right now are too good to be true.
Yes.
I'm back. I'm back.
Oh, he's back, baby.
I'm back at it. I'd have him and Patterson on the same level right now, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think they're definitely trying to get one of those two for sure. And Laquan Robinson. Look, I don't think.
Oh, yeah.
I think
I'm like a 9 or 10 on Laquan Robinson.
I would say I'm there too.
When he said "we," and I quote in some of his stories, and he didn't retract, he just kept it as "we."
Yeah.
I asked him too. He went into the whole thing. You know, my dad's a big Auburn fan, so bringing him here was big. And I said, how big of a deal is it that your family's Auburn fans? He goes, yeah, that's a big deal.
See, so while y'all young bucks were over there talking to Laquan, OG over here was talking to Dad.
Oh,
that's where the real scoop lies.
Yeah, ain't lying.
Dude, he was tickled pink, man. He was looking at his boy getting interviewed. He had his Auburn gear on. they're still living in Greenville, Alabama, dude, it would mean the world. And yeah, I'm right there with you, 9 or 10. Only reason I'd give it a 9 is because he hasn't committed yet. But yeah, Laquan Wright. And listen, this dude looks good, doesn't he, Cole?
He's a ball.
Yeah.
He's a
He
ball.
is built like a damn brick house at safety, and that's who you want.
I don't know if I intended on putting this in the unfiltered thoughts, but I think I forgot. I don't think there's a better safety fit for Ron Roberts' defense than Laquan Robinson.
Yeah.
I don't care about – I know how good KJ Bolden is. I know how good Zaquan Patterson. He's a good fit too, by the way. It's just, dude, Laquan Robinson would be a problem in that defense.
I agree.
Especially as a blitzer.
Look, and I know that KJ and Zaquan probably can play early, right? I for a fact, I believe Laquan Robinson can start for you next year.
Yeah, he walks in on the 2 deep. Let's see, BB3 LK. I kind of read it as B Belk. Besides Eugene Asante, looks like B Belk's got kicked his coverage there in that picture.
Yeah.
Who's your biggest surprises this season? Biggest surprises this season.
Jalen Simpson, the way he's played.
Jalen Simpson, absolutely.
And Marcus Harris. Look, you're talking about Marcus Harris is a draft pick now. I think he could have been last year. I know for a fact he is now with the way he's played. Jalen Simpson is a draft pick and moving probably – I mean, I think he's probably a day 2 guy at this point. Day 3, first pick of day 3, moved into day 2. If he continues to have the kind of season he's having, maybe creeps in the back of day 1 if he runs a really good 40 time. But he's a day 2 guy. And that, to me, is extremely surprising because you're talking about a kid that wasn't on the radar for anybody last year.
All right, let's see.
I think
I'm sorry.
I think mine's Donovan Kaufman.
Ooh,
because
good.
I do know that he's a little bit limited as an athlete, especially like in coverage. And I think it's just as much of a hat tip to Ron Roberts and how they're using him. But he makes the most of his opportunities, Donovan Kaufman. So it's probably either Donovan Kaufman or Lawrence Johnson has been very good. And I didn't think he was going to be all that great.
For me, Jalen McLeod, just from the other day, I liked what I saw from him. And, man, I'm going to keep giving this dude some how about yous. But Luke freaking Deal, man.
Yeah. Unsung hero. Always has been.
Luke freaking Deal.
Always has been.
Luke freaking Deal my hand, son.
He dominates. Dude, and like literally, I watched him flat back a couple different Georgia players. In short yardage situations. I mean, he's a man, son. I would not want to fight. I would see him in a dark alleyway. My 107-pound ass would run the other way. I promise you that.
I thought there was I didn't know if this was Kevin from Wilmer or not. Did I see a question from Kevin?
It sounds like Kevin.
There he is.
Yeah, there he is. How about Perry Thompson, DeMarcus Riddick, Bryce Kane? Oh, he's added Walker White this week.
I like that.
Will we get Saraland? We will get Saraland players too.
Oh, calling a shot on Ryan Williams and KJ Lacey, is he?
Well, they were all at the game.
Yeah,
they were
all at the game. All had great things to say. Actually, we didn't talk to Perry, neither Perry nor DeMarcus.
I talked to DeMarcus, not on
off the record. Yeah. Those dudes are locked in.
Yeah, they're good to go.
Bryce Kane locked in. Walker White locked in, and they're all working on guys like Ryan Williams. And as we said, Auburn's got a dang good shot with him.
Definitely.
I don't know if y'all saw this. Gosh, after we put up Ryan Williams stuff, and I put up another Ryan Williams note, our Alabama site was like, in case you missed it, here's Ryan Williams from Friday night. I'm locked in. Roll Tide. I mean, we probably would have done the same thing had it been reversed.
Of course you would have.
But I like to rub it in. Also, real quick, I wanted to talk to y'all both about this. Did you see Nick Saban's body language when dude asked him about the $5,000 visits?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that. You help me out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep.
Some guy was like, Yeah, the Ohio State coach or somebody up there was talking about five. We've talked about on this show last year. There was loopholes that you could do that. Auburn was paying recruits $5,000. You could do that.
Gene Smith was the AD of Ohio State. Made comments about to Congress that their recruits were asking for $5,000 just to come visit their campus. I would tell you, Gene Smith acting surprised about that. To me, is the biggest nothing burger on the planet.
You mean kind of like when Nick Saban was like, Jimbo Fisher bought his players. We didn't buy our players. Right.
Oh, okay. What? Sure. You know what I mean? What? Listen, pay for play has been a thing in the SEC and at big schools like Ohio State and Michigan for a long time, guys. Okay. This is not a surprise to anybody. These are coaches now that are wanting a little bit more assistance with curbing it somewhat. Yeah.
Zach in the back says, are throwing Dion in the mix, paying Travis Hunter. How about my boy Heisman Trophy winner, Shedeur Sanders?
He had a good game. He had a rough start, but USC has the most garbage defense I have ever watched.
For real? Yeah. They were up like 75-3, and the next thing I knew it was 75-68 or something.
Colorado and Auburn are like the total opposites of each other because Colorado will stay in a game because of their quarterback.
Yes.
And Auburn will stay in a game because of their defense. And then Auburn's offense is questionable and Colorado's defense is questionable.
Big time.
Yeah.
Hey, Zach, do you think Shedeur will be in New York?
No.
Damn, for real?
I'm with you.
I jinx him.
Well, no, they're going to lose again, and that's
they're going to lose multiple times.
Yeah,
and you look at the Pac-12. Cameron Ward is out there putting up Heisman numbers. Good. Michael Penix has almost 2,000 yards already, which is ignorant pace. Yeah. Bo Nix just outshines Shedeur in that Oregon game, and then on top of that, Jordan Travis is still balling out. And then you got who's the running back?
Sam Hartman.
Yeah, Sam Hartman's balling out for Notre Dame. So.
The kid from North Carolina is playing out of his mind.
Drake May.
And then the kid at Florida State.
Jordan Travis.
You already said Jordan Travis. I'm sorry. But yeah, you're going to split the vote. You got to think. And there are writers that are going to vote for people from their part of the country just because that's how they feel about it. They don't always vote for the best player. So I'm with you, Zach. I think it's going to be too divided for Shedeur this year. I think the Pac-12 is too deep. And you're right. I think Colorado's probably a solid 7-5, maybe even 8-4. But yeah, they're at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 more losses on that schedule for them because they've got Washington State, Oregon State, UCLA, Utah, all left to play, dude. That's a lot, man.
Well, he may not win the Heisman, but he's certainly the best player on that team.
Oh, keep going, Jeffrey. Keep going.
I can't even keep a straight face, but I'm saying it. I'm leaving it.
Hey, I do think you're going to see Bo in New York. I think whether he wins it or not, I think you're going to see him there. A lot of people in the comments are saying Brock Bowers, send him to New York.
And look, I had said Washington would be my playoff team from the Pac-12. I have changed that to Oregon after watching 5 weeks of football. Oregon is the most complete team in that conference.
Yeah, they're good.
I think probably the best player from the most complete team is going to find his way to New York. And Jeffrey will ultimately be right on a prediction that he made 4 years ago on the rundown.
That's incredible.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, I predicted, I think, on our show that Oregon was going to win the national championship this year before the season started.
I vaguely remember that.
You did. It'll be interesting. I can't go that far, but they're going to be in the mix.
I don't think it'll be Georgia.
No. I think it's going to be Michigan, possibly. They look really, really good right now. Texas, I think, is another team that looks really good right now. And Florida State.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I overheard. I was walking to the stadium yesterday before the game. There was a Georgia fan, a lady wearing a Stetson Bennett jersey. An Auburn fan, I just overheard. I was eavesdropping. Auburn fan goes, and I think this particular Auburn fan is not one that would tune into our show. One that maybe goes and enjoys one game a year and he's not into it.
Sure.
He's like, "Is that a Stetson jersey?" And she goes, "Yeah, it is. It sure is." Snapped back at him, and he's like, "Okay, I was just wondering, how's he doing right now?" And apparently that just struck a chord with her. Just pissed her off.
She started barking at him?
Pretty much. And I was like, and she's like, and we're gonna three-peat this year. So I mean, why would you even ask that? I was like, boy, y'all are really not helping yourself here. I mean, Auburn fans already hate you,
Look,
it was one of those things.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I don't even know that the SEC is gonna get a team into the playoff this year. I'm dead serious. Our conference sucks this year, man.
Dude, is Kentucky gonna win the East?
Could
or Missouri?
A&M gonna win
Missouri?
The West?
Yeah,
it could. You know what I mean? Look, Alabama's got to go to College Station, right?
Yeah.
Jalen Milroe versus that front. Okay, look, A&M has an extremely talented front seven. They got holes in the back end, but they have an absolutely loaded front seven. If they're going to run that game plan of throwing the ball 12 times a game, holler at me, big dog, with how good you do on that one in that house.
That's going to be a good game. Cam Coleman's going to be there. Found that out today. I'll tell you what. Here's a little scoop for you. Texas A&M's 2024 quarterback commitment was in Auburn today. Anthony Maddox, I believe is his name. He's from Oak Grove High School near Hattiesburg, Mississippi. His younger brother is Andrew Maddox, who is a top 100 defensive lineman in the 2025 class.
Oh, yeah.
Both of those, Andrew Maddox.
Yeah.
They were there today and really honest, too, man. Anthony was leaving. I was like, dude, you're hearing from Auburn? He's like, nah. No, I'm not hearing from him. And, no. But Andrew is. Andrew's Jeremy Garrett's all over this kid. I'll have a story on him maybe Tuesday or something. But, yeah, he's some. But I thought that was interesting. Texas A&M. And he's really little. But he was the one telling me, like, Cam Coleman, me and him was going to A&M next weekend. And
oh, yeah. There you go.
Tell Auburn to leave Cam alone. Good kid. Awesome dad, too. Got to talk to them. Real good weekend, man. Real good weekend. Appreciate everybody, man. We've ran a little OT tonight. I'm sure people didn't mind. But had a lot to talk about, man. We're going to continue to. Auburn's going to be off next weekend, but we're going to continue. We'll be back. I don't have any reason to think we will not do a show next weekend. We can continue to talk about the past and the future, even some present. We'll definitely have a lot of recruiting to talk about.
Hell yeah,
expecting some stuff to kind of unravel this week. Not of any commitments that I know of, but some news, I'm sure. And we'll be all over it at Auburn Live on 3. If you haven't got a membership yet, I think it's still going on, man. I think they still got it going on. The big game special before they turn it off tomorrow morning. Go get it right now. Let me see. Oh, they still got it, man. 50% off. Go right now. Auburn Live on 3. 50% off an annual subscription. $54, man. Or you can get the first month for $1, whatever you choose. One more time for the 5-star realtor, Miss Jessica Andrus. If you're looking for a house in or around Auburn, Opelika, Lee County, give her a call, 334-704-4442. Tell her we sent you. Tell her I didn't miss her number up. Hey, we had Anthony Montgomery getting us started off tonight. Edward called in, as always, a fantastic call. Ricky from Birmingham, Paul from Hartsville. Ward Dank Eagle was feeling under the weather. And Jason from Marietta had a fantastic call as well. Appreciate all those questions in the chat as well. Man, y'all like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I can't believe I remembered to do that. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on those notifications. We'll have shows all week long. And that'll do it for this week, folks. Thank you so much. We appreciate everybody listening. We appreciate everybody watching. For Cole, for Zach in the back who came to the front, for Jhead, I'm Jeffrey Lee, man. Y'all stay out of that left lane. See ya.